Hey yo, it's Leno, and welcome back to another episode of Solely Survival. It's been a couple weeks since I've been in this world, and that's mainly because I've been trying to get a bunch of stuff done over in the Craftwork server, and then I've had side projects going on, and it's just been a whole thing. But I'm glad to be back now. I'm feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, and I'm ready to go. Last episode, we went ahead and we made this big quarry over here, and I left it pretty basic, just a bunch of sand, coarse dirt, and stuff like that. Got a pretty basic railing going all the way around. I've got this crane here, and then right here in the center, I've got this hole that I dug out, and I've started a little mine entrance right here. And that is where we are starting today's episode. You see, I really think it's time to start upgrading from iron. I'm kind of over it at this point, and I know that I've only had iron for a few episodes now, but I do think it's time to go ahead and progress just a little bit more. So I'm thinking it's time to go ahead and start digging this all the way down to -54 and getting started on some mining. But I plan on doing that on stream here in a little bit. I'm also trying to figure out what exactly I want to build, because I do want to build something in this episode. I just don't know what. I really just hit the record button with no plans whatsoever. And yeah, that's kind of the beauty of it, because in this world I can just log in, hit record, and just kind of start, doing whatever it is that I want to, wherever I want to, whenever I want to. And that's, well, again, the beauty of it. And yeah. So, like I said, I plan on doing a live stream here in a little bit as I'm doing some mining, but yeah, I might actually leave it up to chat what I build in this episode. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I think it's time to go ahead and get started on getting this mine going. I really need to go ahead and get all the way down to -54, and I think that's where I'm starting today off. I will see you guys here in a bit. Okay, so it's taken me about an hour, but I am finally done digging this all the way down. And I went ahead and made a staircase because jumping up and down through this entire tunnel is just aggravating, to say the least. It's honestly a pain. But yeah, so I went ahead and did this, and I don't know that I plan on going in here and decorating any of this, really, if I'm being honest with you. What I did with the stairs, though, is I basically made them match the, well, the patches of stone that was around, minus the cobblestone, because obviously you don't just find cobblestone laying around. So what I did there was, in the patches that had the normal stone like this, I put the cobblestone. In the patches with granite, I put granite. And the same for the andesite and whatever, just so this way the floor does look textured a little bit at least, and it still looks, well, natural. And I found a couple of caves going through here. And as I was going down here, I did happen to find that the skelly spawner is right here at it. I did not plan this whatsoever, but if you go right around here, and then you go right here, the skelly spawner is right in here. I am going to light that back up. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that's sitting right there. And then if you continue all the way on down here, you can see that I've made this little area here to start the actual mine. And what I'm thinking is, as I am mining out, I'm just going to keep expanding this wall further and further, and then just making these little entryways and going off the sides like that. And that's really the plan. There's not really much to it, but it's a start for sure. So yeah. Now with that out of the way, I think I'm going to go ahead and take a quick little break and then start up a stream, and I'm going to go ahead and start mining away for a couple of hours, and basically what I find on a stream, well, that's basically going to be what we end up using for a little bit. So hopefully we find enough for me to get by on. If not, well, I do have a backup plan. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get there. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fire up a stream, and I will catch you guys here in a little bit. And I am back from mining. I went ahead and did it on stream. If you guys want to see the VOD from that stream, you can find it in my VODs playlist here on the channel. But yeah, that's where I did all of my mining and everything, and I went out of it with 25 diamonds. So one other thing, I only mined for like 45 minutes. I didn't actually mine for too terribly long, but we did spend some time down there, and I've got these 25 here that can be combined with the 22 for a whopping 47. And with that, I can go on ahead and start crafting my first bit of diamond armor, which, oh my gosh, I did not just do that. I did not just do that. Oh my gosh. There goes all of my diamonds. Oh, man. Okay. Well, I guess back to the mines I go. Oh, that was completely unplanned. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I guess I'm never gonna have to worry about boots again. Okay, well, guess I'm gonna at least do that for now. Okay, much better, aside from the fact that I just made 5 extra pairs of boots. Okay, I guess I'm making extra picks and I'm going back down to the mines for a little bit. Yeah, I will see you guys in a minute. Okay, you know what? No, I am not going mining. I've got other things I want to do and I don't want to spend all my time down there. I can go back for more diamonds later on and get another set of tools made, which is really the only reason I wanted to go anyway. But, yeah. So instead, I've got another idea in mind, and, well, this actually takes us back to where we spawned. So let me just grab a couple of things and go back to our spawn location real quick. So I am back over where we spawned at the very beginning of the season, and I've got a couple of ideas in mind. So you can see here that the spawn area is not all that far from where we actually set up at the very beginning of the season. And honestly, I kind of like that. I didn't realize I built that close to spawn, but I will take it. Anyway, what I'm thinking is that I am prone to dying. And when I die, I don't want to spawn over here and not have any kind of food or tools or anything to get me from here all the way back over there. Yeah, I could leave like a little chest over here that has like basic supplies, leave a bed and maybe torch this area up or something. But that is way too simple and I don't want to do that. I actually think I want to build like a spawn shack, spawn shed, spawn house, spawn something, I don't know, just some sort of shelter out here, a spawn shelter. And basically set it up with all of the goodies and necessities that I will need to, well, start my journey all the way back over there. And yeah, it's not going to be a lot because it's not that far of a trip, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm set up. And, you know, a few episodes ago, I asked if you guys were okay with bringing in some of my Minecraft, you know, YouTuber friends and let them hang out in this world a little bit. And I figure if I'm going to do that, then I might as well set up an area for them to spawn at, because if I'm all the way over there, they're going to spawn here, and they might as well have things too. It's a whole thing. I've been thinking about this for a little bit now. Even though I've been thinking about it, I have not really thought about what I want to build here. So I'm going to wing it there. But I obviously need to deforest some of this area and do some terraforming and everything else. And then I need to make a little bit of a pathway leading over here. And then I'm thinking maybe a bridge there and then like a little path that leads all the way over there to the actual base location. I don't know how much of that we will get done today, but we are going to go ahead and start setting up a little spawn house like right over here. I just realized though that I didn't bring any of my materials with me to actually build this thing, which is probably a good thing because I still have to deforest everything and terraform whatnot. Anyway, I've got time. I'm going to go ahead and start getting rid of these trees and terraforming and whatnot. I will see you guys here in a bit. Alright, so it's taken quite a lengthy amount of time, but I did finally get this area kind of deforested and terraformed. But not only did I do that, I went ahead and kind of deforested a pathway leading all the way back to our base. So basically right here, I kind of opened up just this giant pathway that leads all the way over here and connects up to right here beside this this wheat field. And basically what this is going to do is it's going to make it easier for me to get back and forth with Roach, but it's also going to make it easier for myself to get back over there should something happen to me, or if I have a friend join the world at some point, then, well, it also makes it pretty straightforward getting over there. And that's pretty much what I've done. That's literally all I've done, honestly. It's been, well, many hours of deforesting and terraforming, and really the terraforming isn't even that great, and it's not even finished, but it is getting there. What I'm mainly worried about is just getting the structure put in, and then I can kind of detail around the place. And I do have an idea for the pathway in between here and there, and I've got a couple of different ideas for what to do right here. Right now, I just put a little dirt bridge over there just so I can get back and forth on Roach. But I think I might turn that into a bridge, or I might even do a bunch more terraforming and kind of cut this river off at both ends. I forget what that little thing is called, but yeah, I've got a couple of different ideas in mind for this. I'm gonna figure out what I want to do there, but that is not the focus for right now. Right now, I just want to go ahead and start getting a house put in place. I have quite a few different ideas in mind for what I want to do. I'm going to tinker around a little bit in a creative world and just figure out the palette and everything else that I want to work with. And then I will kind of report back to you whenever I'm done. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start taking most of this stuff back just because I know that I'm not going to need it right now. Probably should bring a donkey over here with some resources, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this going, and I will see you guys here in a bit. Alright, so I have pretty much finished moving everything that I didn't need all the way back over at the house, and I brought over some more of the materials that I knew that I was going to need. But yeah, I've done a little bit of planning in a creative world, and what I think I want to do is just make a little house all out here by itself, and I'm probably going to really do a bunch of like outdoorsy type stuff around it to kind of bring some kind of life to this area, because I don't want to just be a house and it just kind of sit here in the middle of all of this. I want it to be there, but I want it to have everything else around it, like maybe a little pond and, you know, everything else, I guess. So yeah, that's kind of the thought process on that. In terms of a palette, I am kind of leaning towards doing what we've been doing pretty much over at the starter base, and we are going to use a bunch of the birch and spruce and dark oak. And I'm going to deviate from this palette just a little bit, and instead of using the stone, I'm pretty much going to be using deep slate. I think that would be a nice little difference because I've not really used too much of that yet this season. And yeah, I just plan on deviating from that a little bit, but you know, also keeping some of the same colors. And yeah, I've got a little bit of an idea in mind, but not quite. So I'm gonna go ahead and sleep this night away and go ahead and get started on building this house. All right, so I've got the shape of this build put in place, and I think this is perfect for what I am looking for, honestly. Obviously, I don't want this to be too big of a build because this is going to be just a little house all on its lonesome, and if I make it too big, then I just feel like it's not really going to fit anything that I've got going on out here, so keeping it little like this is probably a good idea. But what I'm envisioning is right here in this wall, there will be a front door, and you go through the front door, and this is just going to be the living room, and then there's going to be storage and stuff all in here somewhere. I don't know where. I haven't planned that out yet. And then over here, I'm thinking the kitchen. And then over here, I am thinking we are going to put in a bedroom. And that's pretty much it. I don't want to make this build too big. And I also don't want it to be too bland. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got figured out so far. I'm just going to go ahead and continue on building this structure. And yeah, I will see you guys when I'm done with that. Okay, so the house is done. And I am actually really happy with how it's turned out. It's just a basic little house, and honestly, I don't think I could be any happier with it. I tried to keep it looking a little bit more modern, which I know is kind of different from what we actually have going on over there with all the medieval type stuff that we've got going, but this is pretty cool. I like this. But yeah, so I've got this. I textured the walls with the stripped birch, and then I added in as much depth as I could around these windows and the lanterns. And I had an issue with this where I kind of made too many even spots, and it was hard to figure out how to make that work, but I eventually did it, and I can't complain. Added in these flower pots going around the build, just with a little extra color, and it brings a little bit more depth to the build as well. This little area feels like it's missing something. I'll come back to that later. And I, you know, just kind of spammed all of that stuff all the way around, and then, obviously, me being me, I spammed bone meal around the build, because why not? But I'm not done here because I do have a bunch of plans out there, but we'll get to that. I also wanted to show you the interior that I did do. So yeah, I went ahead, I threw in a bunch of storage alongside these walls. There's nothing in these chests just yet. And then I added in this little kitchen area. And then over here, got a little living room area with a TV, and then just a little sitting area and whatnot. And then I've got a bed. This is my personal bed, so I've got to make another one. But yeah, all in all, this is pretty much a finished build. I think I'm done with it, and I'm really, really happy with how it's turned out. But before I can call this area as a whole finished, I need to get to work out here, and I need to add in just a bunch of stuff. Mainly in this area, you can kind of see that I keep just looking over at it, trying to figure out what I want to do. And what I'm thinking is right here, adding in like a pond or something, and then maybe on this other side of the build here, adding in a field or adding one end around here somewhere. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out. And I've also got to add in a pathway leading from the house here all the way over to here, and then a bridge, and then so on and so forth. And I don't really know how much of this I'm going to get done in this episode, but I do have intentions on finishing up the land around here and then kind of expanding the path. And if I do get the path expanded, I probably will save the bridge and just do that in between episodes, because it probably won't be just anything super fancy. It'll probably be the same bridge design that you guys have seen twice now. So again, nothing super fancy. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for here. I just need to go ahead and start getting some kind of, well, detailing done around here, because this area really needs it right now. Alright, so I've done some more work out here, and I'm quite happy with what I've got so far, but I've got a few more things planned. So right here, I went ahead and added in a pond right beside the house, and it's not anything fancy, it's super basic, and honestly, I feel like I could use more of the mossy texture, but I'm running low on vines, and I don't have a ton of moss yet, so we're just going to make do with what we have. But all in all, I actually really like how that looks right there next to the house. And you can see that I have not yet added in the path. I think I'm going to hold off on the path and save it for later, because what I'm envisioning right now is a field right here. But what I'm thinking is, instead of doing just one field right here, I'm thinking of doing 3 like circular fields going this direction, and it might require some more terraforming back here just to kind of hide this mess, because as I deforest this area for those fields, this is going to be more visible. But anyway, what I'm thinking is kind of walling in some fields right here in 3 little circles, and then doing 3 different types of fields, I guess. Like one of them being wheat, one of them being carrots, one of them being potatoes. So whenever I spawn back here, there's plenty of, food to choose from over here. And then if, well, anybody joins the world at any other point, then they also have different food sources there as well. So that's kind of what I am thinking, and I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. And once that is done, I should be good to go ahead and start setting up paths and stuff going all the way back. And I actually think I'm going to leave the bridge alone for today. I think this area I'm not going to mess with too much, and if I do, it'll end up being like on a live stream or something, just because this, again, is probably going to match the same sort of thing we've done over there, and you've seen that 2 times now, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to go ahead and get started on putting in these other fields over here, and yeah, I will see you guys here in a bit. So I think I finally finished this area for now, and I'm honestly really happy with it. So what I did was I went ahead and I started making this pathway. I didn't extend it all the way over there. I started running low on the coarse dirt. And basically what I'm thinking is, and I'm going to clean this up, but what I'm thinking is it's going to have this solid coarse dirt path going all the way out to about here. And then it's going to kind of dissipate into these little blotches of coarse dirt, just to show that there is still movement through here, but not as much as there is around this area. And then there's going to be a bridge, and then this is going to continue on all the way around there and link up with the home base. And then over here, I added in these fields. I've got carrots, I've got potatoes, and I've got wheat. And then over there, I've got the pond, and then over here, I have got this little rose bush and peony field here in the center. So I made the the coarse dirt path, and I felt like it made sense for it to go around the pond because it's pretty to look at, and maybe the people that are out here maybe want to go for a swim or something. I don't know. And then I also thought it was smart to have the path go over here by the fields because, well, I mean, the fields is kind of a necessity of this area, right? So if you're going to be over here, chances are you're going to be grabbing food. But that left this big open area here, and I figured what better to put here than another one of these diagonal fields that I love to do. So I added another one of those in here, and it added in a lot of color and everything. And this whole area, in my opinion, has turned out really, really great. I obviously still have got to clean up the path a little bit, but we will get around to that. I'm not super stressed about it right now. And I think I just seen a pillager. Yep, I've got pillagers over here, so I'm going to try to make this quick. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this area, honestly. And I've been farming dirt all the way out there, so I might try to link this area up somehow. I might even build out in this area at some point. I don't know. I'm getting in way over my head by pre-planning like this, but it is what it is. So I think I am done just about over here, and I honestly think that just about does it for today's episode. I didn't really have anything else planned, and I think this took up quite a bit of time as it is, so kind of happy with it. I'm probably going to hit the mines in between episodes just to not bore you too much with that. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. So with that out of the way, thank you guys for watching. If you've enjoyed the content, please be sure to show your support by liking the video, commenting down below, subscribing, all that jazz. You know the drill. My name is Lane, and I will catch you guys in the next one.